Hi guys, so while the Tories have taken money from any regime that's willing to buy influence, but will claim to then stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Ukraine during this crisis, the reality doesn't quite match the rhetoric. So I want to show you a few things. First is a claim made by Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Then what the Home Office, which is responsible for refugees, is saying. And finally, the government minister in charge of migration, who came up with something so stupid he deleted it within minutes. First, have a listen to Johnson.
Of course we're going to take refugees. This country's had a historic and proud role in taking refugees from all conflicts. And if you think what we did in Afghanistan, for instance, the UK was way out in front. I'm aware that there's some fake news on the internet about that, and I really want to knock that on the head. The UK is way out in front in our willingness to help with refugees. We've sent 1,000 troops to the theatre to be ready to help with the influx, and of course we will help people fleeing in fear of their lives.
When Boris Johnson says way out in front, is this a bit like world beating? Anyway, let's move away from the rhetoric for a moment. And this is the official Twitter account of the Home Office. And it says here, official, the UK has multiple official visa routes available for Ukrainians who are not dependent of British nationals. Ukrainians who reach neighbouring countries can access UK visa application centres there. Our VAC in Kiev closed following Russia's attack on the city. Our VAC in Lviv remains open, and our priority is to deal with family members of UK nationals in Ukraine. Now, this is a part of the UK government's official website. Okay, this is from the Home Office. Priti Patel said on this page, we stand shoulder to shoulder with Ukraine amid this unprovoked and anti-democratic act of Russian aggression. It goes on to say, as part of the official communique, just before I read the part in red, it says here, we have surged staff to visa application centres. Dependents of British nationals resident in Ukraine who need a UK visa can apply through the new temporary location in Lviv, as we saw before, or through a visa application centre in nearby countries, including Poland, Moldova, Romania, and Hungary. So if you're dependent on a UK national, you can apply. But as you see below, it says, however, all other visa services in Ukraine have been suspended. So how are you supposed to get into the UK if you don't have a dependent? Well, that gets us to this guy called Kevin Foster. Now, Kevin Foster is the Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Safe and Legal Migration. Now, why am I talking about this guy? Well, he was on Twitter and he posted this on Twitter. Now, this was in response to another person, another politician. It says here, hi Luke, as you will be well aware, there are a number of routes, not least our seasonal worker scheme. Yes, you heard that right. Seasonal worker scheme. You will recall from your shadow DEFRA days, which Ukrainians can qualify for alongside the family route for those with relatives here. So if you have relatives in the UK, you can access a visa system. If you don't, well, you can apply to pick fruit. Now, Kevin removed this tweet shortly after posting it. I and many others took a screenshot because, things get deleted. Maybe it was by accident he deleted it. But he's suggesting here that Ukrainians who want to get into the UK to safety should apply to pick fruit and vegetables or some other scheme. This is beyond a joke. Now, if Kevin had been some Tory party supporter, I would have just dismissed this. If Kevin had been a backbench MP, I probably would have covered it as well. But he's not Michael Fabricant or Mark Francois. He's the Parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Safe and Legal Migration. This is his baby. This is his department. Now, when I saw the guy's face, I knew him from somewhere. He normally accompanies Priti Patel at select committees. Now, I just want to park the refugee issue for a moment. And I've covered this issue before. When it came to Brexit, many businesses are struggling to find workers. They have presented their evidence to select committees. And then the select committees have interviewed people like this guy, like Kevin Foster and Priti Patel. And the response has always been the same. We have our rules. We're not going to change them. And it demonstrates, it demonstrates how disconnected they are from reality. And we apply this to, a crisis, a humanitarian crisis taking place at the moment. And he thought it was clever to say, yes, well, these Ukrainians can apply to work on farms to get into the UK. Now, some countries are opening the borders completely and allowing these refugees to come in. But the UK, who Boris Johnson said, yes, we are out in front or world beating or whatever, is saying his government minister, remember, this guy is not some backbench MP. He's not just some Tory party supporter. He's the Under-Secretary of State for Safe and Legal Migration. He's saying, yeah, let them pick fruit. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.